Hi, and welcome to Mindful, Beautiful, and Thriving, a podcast series by Tharaka Foundation focused on youth mental health. Before we begin today's episode, I just wanted to let you all know that all content that is found in our podcast is created for informational purposes only. This content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or therapy. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition, and never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard in this podcast. Thank you so much, and without further ado, let's get started.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us again today. I am here, your host Punam, with Sister Rini. Today's special guest is Shini. It sounds so great to say Rini and Shini because they're rhyming. Welcome, Shini. Tell us a little bit more about you, your parenting journey. Where are you joining us from? Are you working? How is your typical day? Any parenting challenges? We are keen to hear.
Sure. Thank you, Punam. Thanks, Sister Rini, for having me on this show. So my name is Shini. I'm based out of Dallas, Texas, and I have twin daughters who are 19-year-old. And my 19-year journey with them has been precious as I can think about, right? I know when I had them 19 years ago, it was difficult, it was challenging having two babies in my both arms, and bringing them together, feeding them together, teaching them, doing every single thing that I could think of. Um, was a challenging aspect of my life. So first couple of years were really um, hardworking and time consuming, and my body was getting drained. So those were a couple of years that I remember from my journey were very challenging. But as soon as I hit around 3 4 years after their birth, my life was so smooth because they had each other to calm themselves down, to play around. And then I started feeling that the time that I invested earlier in my career, in my life with them, was now blooming, because now I don't have to invest the same energy and same time over again, which a mom with a single child may have, right? And 3 years later they'll have another baby and they'll put their entire energy into it over again. So I think it was a blessing to have twins. That's what I always, look back and say, yes, couple of years were really, really tough. However, when they turned 3.5, 4, my life was very, very easy, because now I have to drive only once to daycare and come back once. Even in the school, everything was, only one time show, right? Any concerts, anything, any activities, everything they did together. And I think having two girls was also a blessing, right? When you have a boy and a girl in twin, things are different, because a boy may expect something else. The activities may be different than a girl's, but this was just wonderful. So I have no regrets, no complaints, no looking back with a grief or anything. I feel blessed to have the twins. Yes, of course, every single thing, every parenting, I would say, comes with a challenge. Um, but I feel blessed. I feel very, very blessed to have them and put those sanskar in them in during my earlier days. And now that they have turned 19 last year and they left home for their college, they're both in Washington, D.C. I see that what I incultivated in them, all those years, is now coming into reality. Now, when I am sad or I feel challenges, I know I can lean them on, because we have had times when they had challenges and I was there for them. So I think it's all paying off blissfully and happily, and I'm as happy as I can be. Although I miss them, because my home is now empty. I'm an empty nester at home. However, feeling or getting happy notes from them just keep me going, keep me motivated. So that's my story.
Beautiful, Shini. I am so glad. Like, you are seeing positivity in everything, and you are grateful, and you're giving a very good message. You know, the early years you invested. I think a lot of parents, they forget that, you know, this is an investment. But the time we give to our children, quality of time, right? Like, you did that. And as you're saying, now that's return on investment is there. You are leaning on each other. You inculcated those things which were important for life skills, I would say. And you used a beautiful word, sanskar. And so, Rini, Sister Rini, would you like to share something what you just heard from Shini?
I mean, as you pointed out and highlighted the word sanskar, and kind of just a little bit of elaboration on it, if that's okay. Um, Sanskar is more like an impression, isn't it? It's like those impressions that are lying in the mind. And what I find is that if we really are coming to know our innate, inherent truth of who we are, then all these different patterns of the mind, they also kind of begin to get aligned with the silent truth of who we are. So when you said that the time and the energy you invested in the formative years of your daughters, it's because they're very absorbent at that time. They're really absorbing everything. There is no filter of any ego or any kind of separate identity. There's no resistance to what they're receiving. So they're really totally absorbing you at all levels. So I find that that is why what the time that you invested with them, the energy, the love, the everything that you could kind of give the best to the best of your ability in those formative years, as you said, is paying out. And I find that, and as Sister Poonam said, that sometimes we don't realize it, but it is the most important time, not only when they are just born, but even before they are born. And that is when I always feel when somebody asks, so when should we start um, thinking about giving rights and scars to our children? And it's like the moment you have a thought about having a child with your partner, that's the time to really start preparing that it is a divine being that is coming, and it's really from that moment on, no matter what happens, they will always be seen as that divine being. So even like when they are in their beginning years, and even when they're 10-year-old or 15-year-old, they're going through their own ups and downs and trying to find their identity and everything. But I can still, of course, do what I need to do, but at the same time maintain that vision for them, that what they really are in essence is unhurtable, indestructible, unstainable. Nothing about their truth can change. When we really come, that is the deepest sanskar I find. That if I'm living from that place, I'm implanting kind of that same sanskar, that impression, that which is the deepest impression of who am I, right? That which I am. And I know it sounds very philosophical and it sounds very theoretical, but we can maybe look into it together if time allows and it's possible. Then how do we really do that? Because I think answer to all our concerns as parents or in any relationship, the seed solution is to really know our inherent nature and our inherent identity of who we really are. So I do find that, like when my girls were growing up, of course, there were times when I felt I made these mistakes and I could have done this better. I should have done this better. And there were sometimes there was a feeling of, I'm not somewhere happy. And what is the reason? Because it's not about what I say to them. It's about how I know myself that is truly getting imparted to them. And so that got me interested in knowing my inherent truth. So the word sanskar that you used is so beautiful. Because then when I started getting interested in knowing my truth prior to my thoughts, I know my thoughts are there, they're constantly changing. So that can't be my inherent truth. Because when a thought disappears, it's not like a little bit of me disappears with it. I still remain the same presence. So I started getting more and more interested in these things. And what I found was the more I was taking care of myself at the core, unknowingly, the whole family was getting taken care of, honestly. So that is the deepest sanskar, which is non-verbal, which is happening under the surface in the depth of the ocean. And that is where I found that for me that was most important, because the way I really know myself at the core, not what I'm saying superficially as a positive affirmation, but what I really know myself at the core to be. And that is what they are really getting in touch with as well. So yeah, so that's the beauty of the sanskar word. Thank you.
Sister Rini, you touched upon many things. I would like you to clarify a little bit more the truth, right? We are saying these thoughts are coming, going, fleeting, changing. But what I know the definition of truth is that is unchangeable, always, always remains true, no matter where we go, which country, which caste, religion, which creed we belong to. And as you said, my thoughts are changing. That's not my truth. But we do associate with thoughts so much. And those thoughts look so real. So how do we know? Like you're saying, the whole crux of this whole parenting journey is if we know ourselves, know the truth, everything else will be taken care. Forget about kids, even other relationship, not even at home, but even beyond home, even at work. So would you like to elaborate a little bit more, the own truth? Sometimes it's hard because we think what is visible through eyes, that's what is truth. But as you're saying, it's very deep. Maybe what is visible through eyes is not the reality. Reality is, like, as you said, in the depth of the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. I know that, Shini, before the interview, you had asked a question about, I'm worried about the safety of my children, right? And how do I make sure that they're not judgmental about who they meet, but at the same time they're discerning. They can discriminate and discern, right? And that, I would say that will come from the fact of how you really know yourself, that that which you are is forever safe, forever untouched, unchanged. Yeah. And when I know that, because we are very closely connected to the minds which are playing the part of a daughter or a husband or mother, father, right? So I find that the more I know myself as indestructible, the more they will also know their true identity of being indestructible, right? But how do we see that? As Sister Poonam said, it's very difficult sometimes to really know our truth of who we really are. So for that, we do have to check one thing. Do I have deep interest in knowing my truth? That is the very first step, right? And sometimes for some, it takes some continuous failures in life to get interested in the deep matters of truth. And sometimes for some, it just may take, I'm not very happy and satisfied, although everything is fine, but I want to know something deeper about myself. So it will vary from person to person. For some, it may just need a little trigger. For some, it may need continuous failures. And it would be different for each one. So, so to really know our truth, it's not very difficult. I'll just do a simple experiment, yeah, for all of us, if that's okay, and see that. Again, I'm not saying that it's just going to be visible right here, right now, but maybe a glimpse of it is possible. Yeah. So let us take a moment and can you just help me see what do you see around when you look around? Tell me about the room that you're in. Just tell me about the room that you're in. What do you see around yourself?
Um, I see my windows looking out,
Yeah.
um, and I have my monitors, couple of them, when I'm working, and then I have my temple or my mandir in my office,
Yeah.
just to calm me down when I get overexcited or overwhelmed. And then there's this door that goes to my home. Those are
Yes.
some of the things that I can think of.
Yeah. And like I can see a plate on your table, I can see the furniture, I can see the plant, right? What else can you see in your
Um,
room?
I have my daughter's pic and my family pic in the back.
Yeah.
So when I'm on videos, I have them like facing backward so I can see a shadow of them, and then a lot of different gadgets here and there, some furniture, and then I see myself,
Oh, yeah, the body. Yeah.
the body, but then I'm always thinking in the back of my head that I'm an Atma and this is me, and everything else around me is a material or something else which is not me. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
I have me inside this body and then everything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Now, there was one more thing without which none of these things are possible. What is that one thing in the room? Just a simple, and all the audience who are listening,
Yeah.
take it as a fun activity.
Ah,
It's
of course.
nothing too serious.
Yes.
Just kind of exploring together, right?
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
exploring together.
Okay.
There's no, what do you say, right or wrong?
Right or wrong. So you're
Because,
saying there's one more thing that I'm seeing in this room
Mhm.
besides what we have spoken.
Yeah.
Mm, nothing else is coming to me. You're gonna tell me
That
that.
is fine. That is absolutely fine. So one thing that Sister Poonam, would you like to say something at this point?
I think I know what you're looking for. Maybe it is the space.
It is the space.
That's nice. That's a very genuine and unnoticeable thing, but it is there.
Unnoticeable, but without space, none of these contents are possible, including the body.
Absolutely.
Yeah, none of these things are possible. Now, we say, although space is the only actual thing there, not a thing, but just to be able to speak about it, it's not visible in that sense, right? It's not something you can touch, feel, taste, smell, anything like that. But without it, none of these things are possible, right? And we just take it for granted, right? And something very similar, that which I am, which, and so in this analogy, space like awareness is what I am. And the pictures and the furniture and the things and the body, which is sensations, and all the contents of the room and the four walls is the body, right? And the contents in the room is like my thoughts, my feelings, sensations, perceptions. These are the contents, right? Now, let us take all the contents out of the room, okay? So let us take the furniture out of the room. Let us take the pictures out of the room. Let us take the flower pot, which I can see outside of the room. Everything out of the room. What happens to the space?
The space is going to be untouched, un. I mean, it will be just as clean, as clear, as untouched as possible.
Absolutely. It's absolutely. Now let us say we crowd the space with furniture. What happens to the space?
There will be no space.
I mean, space is still there.
There, but it's overcrowded with everything.
Will it complain about being overcrowded?
No,
No. Will it be happier about being empty?
it
No.
doesn't make a difference. Yeah.
Doesn't make a difference to the space, right? It's whether you overcrowd me or whether you just keep me empty, I'm still the same space, right?
Yeah.
Now you start fighting in that space. What happens to the space? Let's say two people come and they start fighting. Does the space say, I
No,
don't like you, get out of the space?
no,
No,
no. Yeah.
right? Now you start meditating in that space. Does the space say, I prefer you over those two?
Nope.
No. Okay, we are very, very clear about it, right? And space is totally non-judgmental, right?
Right.
It's not preferring one thing over the other, not resisting one thing over the other. It's not saying this furniture is ugly and this furniture is beautiful, right? It's not saying that this is gold and this is garbage. It's just the same. It's the space is the same no matter what appears in it or what disappears. It's just not feeling more because they are more beautiful things. It's not feeling more beautiful. And they are more ugly things. It's not feeling ugly based on the contents of the space. Does that make sense so far? You with me? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, if I were to know myself, you know that you can remove everything. Does space go anywhere?
No.
No, right? And you can add anything. Does space feel aggrandized? Aggrandized means, does it feel more complimented? Nothing. So it's absolutely allowing everything without judging anything, right? So nothing is temporary about the space, but everything about the contents of the space is temporary. Right? They can be there, maybe the furniture may be there, the furniture may not be there. The contents keep changing. And the contents can be, I mean, replaced with some other contents, right? Nothing ever happens to the space, right? Now, if I were to ask you, that which you are is more like a space-like being. Why? Let us see. You see your thoughts, you see the thoughts, not your thoughts, but you see the thoughts right now. Just see the thoughts. Do the same thoughts remain all the time or thoughts keep changing?
They're changing every second.
You're absolutely sure, right? Every second they are changing.
Yeah.
We have to be very sure at every step, right?
Mm.
Every second, thoughts are changing. 1 minute they're talking about yesterday's lunch,
Mm.
and next moment they could be thinking about the daughter in Washington, and the
Mm.
next moment they could be thinking about the work at the office, right?
Yes.
Constantly changing. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Appearing and disappearing. True?
Yes.
Appearing and disappearing. Now, that which you are, there is someone who's aware of these thoughts which are appearing, changing, disappearing. A thought starts, I'm there before it starts, I'm there when it ends, I'm there when the next thought starts, I'm there during its commentary, and I'm there when it ends. Is that true?
Yes.
Or do you disappear each time a thought disappears, a little bit of you disappears with it?
We
No.
are always there.
You're just there and you are aware that there are thoughts appearing, changing, appearing, saying something, disappearing, then saying something else, constantly appearing, disappearing, changing, saying something. But somehow, somewhere, I am that which is aware of them. I'm aware of their appearance. I'm aware of their disappearance. I'm aware of what they say. I'm aware when they're absent. I'm aware when they're present. But I'm always present. So I can't be a thought. It must mean I'm prior to the thought. That's why you're able to see it, right?
Yes.
Just like, for example, I'm now just giving a simple analogy. What your eyes can see, your eyes must be prior to those things. Is that true?
Yes.
But can eyes see themselves?
No.
No. So if I can see thoughts, that must mean I'm prior to the thoughts.
Right.
So, and I'm prior to what they say. Maybe talking about the story about fear, what will happen to my daughter? She's traveling alone at night. What if something happens? They're speaking all sorts of stories. But I am the one which is prior to the story, the narrative, aware of these thoughts, speaking this narrative. Is that true? Because we want to see it in our experience. You don't want to believe me. You want to make sure it is your experience, not because somebody said so and you start believing it. You have to start really seeing it in your experience. Is it true for you that you can
Yes.
see this entire story?
Yes.
Okay. Who is that I that is seeing this story?
That's me.
That's me. Very good. Who is that me? When you say me, does it feel like I'm this body seeing the thoughts?
Eventually it's my
No,
Atma.
no. We don't know about all of these concepts right now, right? So we're just sticking to what our current experience is, right?
Hmm.
So it does feel like I'm Rini, I'm the mother, I'm this
Yeah.
body, and I'm aware of these thoughts.
Yes.
And that's fine, absolutely fine. Now, that which is aware of these thoughts, I feel I'm the body and I'm the mother. Even this thought, I'm the mother of my daughters, about who I'm thinking, are these also not thoughts that you are aware of? I'm not suggesting you don't have to take any action and not care for your daughters. We are just in this moment seeing experientially who am I prior to the changeful nature of changeful thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah. So that which I am, I'm aware of these thoughts changing. Now, are you aware of the body? Can you see the image of the body?
Hmm.
What is your experience of the body? When you experience the body, what do you experience?
It's a shell.
It's a
It's a
shell.
thing. Yeah.
What is there inside the shell when you just experience? What is your experience? Some sensations, maybe?
Yeah. Some sensation, some movement.
Some movement, some sensations, yeah. Are they changing as well?
They are constant. They are there.
Yeah, they are there constantly, but constantly changing or the same sensation?
Same sensations.
Are they same? Just check. Are they just up and down, vibrating like a vibration,
Yes.
pulsating? So they
Yes.
are changing, that means.
Yes. Based on what I feel, based
Yeah,
on my feelings. Yeah.
very good. So they are constant, they're not the same always.
Yes.
But you are aware of them.
Yes.
Okay. Now we saw the thoughts are changing, the sensations are changing. Are your feelings always the same? Do you always feel fearful? Or
No.
sometimes?
No. Sometimes feelings are happy, sad, fearful,
Sometimes
different.
they're exactly different feelings. It's never the same feeling. So
Right.
so I can't be a feeling because it's constantly changing. That
Mm.
which I am, which is aware of feelings, feelings are constantly changing, thoughts are constantly changing, sensations are constantly changing. But I, which is aware of this changeful phenomena, I seem to be present throughout
Mm.
all changeful phenomena.
Mm.
Who is this I that is present, which is aware of all the changeful phenomena, but itself is just feeling always I'm present through all the change? Who is this I? So I saw I'm not the body, because body is the experience of sensations constantly changing. Is that true?
Yes.
I'm not the thoughts because they are constantly changing. Is that true?
Yes.
I'm not the feelings because I'm prior to all these changing phenomena and feelings also, which are constantly changing. So I must be the background in a way.
Yes.
Yeah. And if I was changing, would I be able to experience the changeful phenomena?
No.
No. Right? So it's like a platform which can see lots of trains coming and going. But if the platform was constantly moving, will it be able to experience the coming and going trains?
No.
No. So that means I'm like that platform. I'm like that space. If the space was constantly changing, would it be able to experience the changeful contents within it?
No.
No. So that must mean that that I which I am is that changeless background of all the changeful phenomena. Is
Yes.
that true?
Yes.
So, really knowing yourself as that space which is ever present, things can change, contents of experience can change, which is thoughts, feelings, sensations, sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, all of this can change. That which is aware of it is not changing.
Mm.
That's who I am.
That's so beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
Yeah, so then if that is what who I am, if I know myself prior to the changeful thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions, I also know my daughter, my husband, my parents, my neighbors, my friends, or the so called strangers who I just don't know that they're my friends,
Yes.
right? I know everyone I meet, they're not their changeful thoughts, they're not their changeful feelings, they're not their changeful experiences. They are like that space which never changes. So, more I know myself as that changeless space and not identified with the changeful content within that space, the more I know everyone is exactly the same. Is there a difference between the space in your office and the space in your kitchen, or the space in your neighbor's office, or the space in your neighbor's kitchen? The space is the same. Contents are different.
Yes.
That's how we come to know that that which I am is always the same space, and we are all that same space. Is the space in your office the same as the space outside of the office?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not limited by four walls. It's all the same space, appearing to be many different spaces because of the contents within the space.
This is so beautiful, sister.
Yeah. So
Very
so the more I realize, the more I've seen and known my truth prior to the contents of experience,
Mm,
which are constantly changing, and as Sister Poonam mentioned, that changeless truth. More I know that, then these feelings, if I see my daughter fearful about her safety and all, I know this. I know I will, of course, do at the practical level, relative level, what I need to do, but behind it all, I know nothing can happen to you experientially.
right.
That which you are, like space, cannot be destroyed. Same, because I feel that for me, I know that for you. And that is what they're really receiving from you. Not what you say. Nothing will happen to you. You're just fine. And internally, I'm feeling, oh my God, what will happen? Is she safe or not? I'm fearful for her safety. They're receiving that. They're not receiving your words, what you say.
So beautiful, Sister Rini.
So I don't know if Sister Poonam wants to add something to it or subtract something from it. It's fine.
As like you were explaining, Sister Rini, so as Shini also said, it's so beautiful. Like we were talking about formative years or now teens or adulthood. This is changing again, but what is unchanging, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I find that it all relationships, because they are seeing how you're living, how you're interacting with the world, how you're interacting with other people. They're not taking what you're saying. Are you using the world to make you happy, to make you feel fulfilled? Or are you really giving, not even giving? I find that more I've seen that I feel like I'm not helping them in any way, because then somewhere I'm feeling that they need my help, right? I just feel that they're complete full beings who need nothing from me. And that kind of really also somehow I find subliminally they don't do things to please me, because when I'm fearful, they're trying to allay my fears somehow. Don't worry about me, mom. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Don't worry so much about me all the time.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I
Thank you
just
so much.
thank you. Thank you. Exactly. I felt, like what I learned today, just see the essence in everybody. It's the same. What appears on the surface is not the truth. It's changing, right? These kids, we say, like my kids, yeah, they were toddler, grown up and all. But are they really my kids, or are they really what I see through my eyes? No, it's like the same essence is same in every human being. And if when I know my truth, I see that truth in others, then what to fear about? Right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sister Rini,
So
for
much.
sharing your wisdom. Thank you, Shini, for joining us today.
This was
Thank you.
wonderful experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much. One thing, if I may add, it's like this furniture that I was talking about in space is our thoughts, feelings, sensations, and emotions, right? And perceptions. And that is different, but the space is the same. So we don't judge naturally, because we are not judging our truth by what we feel, think, by our thoughts, by our feelings, by our emotions, by our sensations. Automatically, what we find, it translates without even, oh, I should not judge. That won't work. That won't work. But when I'm not from that truth of being that space like being, when I'm seeing these feelings non-judgmentally that are appearing, automatically I will not judge the so-called others, which are not really others, but at this stage of understanding, it's fine. The so-called others, I won't be judging them by their thoughts, feelings. I will have the power to see them behind their changeful feelings, thoughts, emotions.
Yeah,
I think that's what really communicates most powerfully.
absolutely. I am going to practice this
Yeah.
over and over and over for next 24 hours to see where I
Beautiful.
went.
Beautiful, beautiful. It all starts with yourself, the change. It's like, I think Mahatma Gandhi said it, Sister Punam. Yeah. What was it? I exactly don't remember.
Yeah, be the change you want to see
Be the change
around,
you
right?
want to see. Yes, yes.
Beautiful. So, Shini, we will bring you again to listen and learn like how the experiment went, and like all your worries, fears about your daughter, future, safety, nothing to worry about
Yeah.
because now we know our truth.
Yes. No, thank you so much, Sister Rini and Poonam. This was wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you.
You are listening to Mindful, Beautiful, and Thriving, a podcast series by Tharaka Foundation. As part of our youth series, we will be releasing new episodes every month, so make sure to continue to check those out. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we thank you so much for listening.